Hello. Thank you for stopping by and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I decided to use electional astrology to relaunch my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've posted a video, and I definitely know that this is the platform that I want to be using to spread my message and to help the collective be more balanced, more connected to nature, to the divine, to the living sky, and to your own innate ability to feel balanced and connected to the universe and grounded, right? We live here on Earth. Grounding is something that's very important for us. And when I was on my walk the other day, I was by the creek. I live on a creek and I walk often by a creek as well. Same creek that I live on. And I decided, information about water and the healing powers of water I feel like would be really beneficial for a lot of people. I know that it is for me, for sure. Whenever I'm feeling out of sorts or needing to pick me up, water is one of the first things that I go to. And that's been since I was a child. There's just something about water that really makes me feel full and makes me feel connected and nourishes me on such a deep level. And of course it makes sense that our bodies are like 60 to 70% water, so that helps too. And then I realized today when I was in the shower, I was like, oh yeah, Neptune is going direct, which Neptune in astrology, definitely one of the things, he's the god of water, right? Like if you think of Neptune with his Triton and the god of water. So I figured that today was a perfect day to honor Neptune and his motion direct in astrology and to bring some wisdom of water. So I picked a crystal, and the crystal that I picked is called Aquatine, which deeply nourishes our emotional body and also invokes the wisdom of water. So this was the perfect crystal to jump out at me today to bring here for us to have as an anchor to embody water. What do I mean by embodying water? When I talk about embodiment, I'm talking about the feelings of bringing body, emotion and feelings into your body, like to be able to experience whatever senses that you're feeling into the body. A lot of times we get very heady and very into our minds about thinking about how things feel, but when we embody something, we're actually feeling it in our body, and water is such a perfect thing to help us do that. If you think about sticking your toes into a body of water, whether it be a river or a lake or the ocean or a creek, you can feel the water on your skin. You can feel it cooling you, typically. Sometimes it's warm too, depending on where you live in the world. You can have warm water. I lived in Arizona for many years, and the water was warm there. Not as warm as the outside skies or outside weather, so it would still be cooler most of the time anyways. But to have that sensation of water on your skin and to notice the feelings that are invoked in you or arise in you while water is present, and being able to go to a body of water is really such a deep blessing for me, and I hope that you are able, if you're to go to water, if you're not living by water, maybe you can visit a lake or a creek or a river or an ocean that's near you and take a little day trip to dip your toes in the water, or even just to spend time by the water and listening, using your senses again, so you can get that embodiment part of feeling whatever it is that your senses are tasting or touching or feeling or hearing. via the source of water and how healing that is. And if you're unable to go to a body of water, taking a bath or a shower or even doing dishes are all ways that we can really get into the healing powers of water. And I'd like to give you a few examples and invite you to use some of the examples to see if you can really feel more nurtured and embody the deep nourishment that water can bring us. And again, if you can do that today would be a great day to do that, being that Neptune is going direct, but really any day. Most of us come into contact with water, whether we're drinking it to nourish our body, and of course we have to have water to stay alive. And for those of us who are in countries who have clean water, or mostly clean water to drink, it is something that is vital to us as human beings, right? Let's see. So, let's go for the ocean. I'll talk about the ocean first. Something that I love to do when I'm by the ocean is to dip my toes in the water, of course, and feel the sand beneath my feet, and really how, like, it kind of feels like it sucks you in a little bit, or it's kind of the sand actually embodies you and takes you into itself. Or sometimes you can feel a little uneasy or unsteady with the water and the sand around you, because as the water comes in with the ocean, the sand gives way too, so it kind of makes us unsteady on our feet. And then also just noticing all of the creation that's around and at the ocean, whether that be crabs that are on the sand. I've seen jellyfish on the sand, starfish. You can go over to the rocks and see many mussels around here. I live in Northern California, so I feel blessed that I live on a creek, but then I'm also close to the ocean as well. And sea anemones are really common where I am. Starfish are super common. Mussels are really common too. And then another thing I love to do while I'm sitting on the beach is just listening to the waves lap up against the coast and up against the shore. It's such a pleasure to my senses to be able to hear and to be able to experience that. And then whether there's fog out or sun out or clouds out, there's all kinds of things that we can feel with our senses, or hear with our senses, see with our senses, right? And then of course there's the sand. The sand here is just a myriad of many different kinds of rocks, and I know other places that I've visited, there's tiny shells. There's many different rocks, big and small, and different kinds of shapes that are on the beaches. And it's fun to be able to go through and pick through the rocks and be able to look at the sand and see what is in the sand. You know, all the things that have been distilled by water over time and taken on a different shape and created over time, going through different metamorphoses to become different things because of the power of water. And then at my local creek here, I'm hoping maybe you can hear it in the background. We've had quite a bit of rain last month here, so there's been a nice amount of water flowing through the creek. It was almost dry, so it's nice to have some water in the creek again. And just as I take my walk, taking a few breaths at the waterside or the creek, sitting down in the grass, communing with Mother Nature and Earth, and absorbing the sounds, the trickling of the water going over the rocks, the birds in the sky, maybe the bugs crawling around the grass or the rocks if you're close to water. So much to be desired in nature, so many things that we can benefit from while we spend time out in nature. And then we'll go to a bath, which is one of my favorite things to do. And I love to bring candles and crystals. I have many crystals here with me today. Here's another crystal that I have here, kind of anchoring us in all things that come from the earth, nature. I love to use Epsom salt, magnesium. A lot of us are deficient in magnesium, so magnesium is something that can really nourish our bodies as well. And a candle. I love to bring a candle. I'm burning an incense here, so incense are something that I love to do, to burn while I'm taking a bath. And then if you don't have a bath, a shower, you can feel the water and just really present yourself in the moment. Take some deep breaths and notice the feelings that you're feeling and how that water feels on your skin. I know that I love to stick my tongue out underneath of the drips of the water and let them tantalize my tongue. It feels very, very good to have a little water drip on my tongue and be able to feel the feelings and the joy and pleasure that that brings to my body, especially when I was single, something that I really enjoyed doing for pleasure. So you could try that as well. And then what else? Dishes. We could do dishes, right? Even doing dishes. I know that that's a chore that maybe we like or don't like, and it's just another way that we can feel the power of water. So I hope these little tips have helped you. I also decided to pull an oracle card from Denise Lynn's Sacred Destiny Oracle today. And the card that I pulled was Going Forward. This looks very similar to what I have here in Northern California when I go on my walks. And we have pictures of grass here. And grass is something that we've known throughout time that we eat and that can feed us. In the earliest days of human history, we have picnics on it, we make love on it, it prevents erosion. It's one of the most significant food sources for us, for animals as well. It symbolizes growth, productiveness, prosperity, new ideas, and fulfillment. So I hope that you have gotten something out of my video today. I would love to help you or anyone that you know that maybe wants to embody more of their self, feel more grounded, feel more anchored, feel more connected to the divine or to the universe. I know we've had a lot of changes in our environment over the last couple years, and a lot of us are really looking at moving forward in new directions and maybe mending bridges, which is another term that came to me while I was thinking about this video, which makes me think of water. Of course, there's bridges that go over water that lead us to new beginnings and maybe endings in our life. I'll put my information below. If you've liked what you've seen today, please like, share, or subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful time and do experiment with water. Blessings.